It's Dark Angel's Journey. Sorry about the lighting. It's a interesting time of day for me to be trying to do a video, so it's a little dark. Anyway, I figured slowly learning about how to recognize order blocks, breaker blocks, and mitigation blocks, and the rejection block. So I figured we could spend some time trying to find them in the charts and see how price reacted from them. I have been looking forward to this all day so I can test this out. So don't judge me because I'm being totally nerdy. Sorry, I spent the weekend with my partner's mom and we were doing weird voices. You get it. Anyway, if that sounds like a good time, let's hit the like button, let's hit subscribe, and let's get it bumping. Put a comment down below if you feel like it too. I always like to hear what you guys are thinking, so I might make myself tiny. All right. Screen's up here, so if I'm looking up, that's what I'm looking at. So this is the Micro E-mini S&P 500. And this morning, ICT was having us review certain levels and areas and how price moved. And he was saying something that somewhat confused me about negating the bearish sentiment. And now I see why. So I'm going to take a look at, actually, I'm going to clear everything off of here just cause, and then we're going to like do this top-down analysis bit, right? All right. And I'm excited to see what we can figure out around these different order blocks and how they're moving. Probably easier to spot them on, say, like, I don't know, daily or hourly, or actually they're everywhere, right? But the higher level time frame ones I'm finding are stronger. Let me plug my phone in. It is dying. Yeah, I'm a total nerd. Don't judge me. Anyway, so so we are enjoying a little bit of a tiny rally. We violated this guy, then we violated down here. So potential, I don't know, it could be a range somewhere from this candle, if we're going down, to this red candle, the close of this red candle. That's a nice little range to play with. All right, but we're looking for specific things, so maybe I don't want to clutter up my stuff. But let's go down to the weekly and see what we can see in here. All right, and then we can adjust our levels. So I'm gonna adjust this up. Ooh, look at this one. So technically, this is looking like a rejection block right there, right? So somewhere about 50% of this thing is where we'd want to see if it's going to be an actual one. We want to see it come into about 50% of it, never close the body of the candle above, like, was this the highest? Well, we've already closed above it. We're digging into it. I don't, still learning, so bear with me as I fumble through this and figure out what the heck I'm doing, right? So let's go down to the daily and let's see if we can see examples of it. So here's an example. We had this candle, this one dug into it, a little less than 50%. We should always look to the left. And we had all of this liquidity down here to eat, buy side liquidity hanging over here. So they came, they ate, and then they dropped it. Okay. So what is about 50% from the wick? So they didn't dive all the way into it, but they did not, let's zoom in on this candle. They did not close anything above the body. Interesting. And then they sold off. came and reclaimed into this this bullish order block down here. And it looks like they dug about 50% into that thing. Let's see. The wick. Whoopsie. We hit shift on the base of that thing. Not beautiful. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, they dug about 50% into it and then flew away. So bullish order block on the daily. What about a mitigation block, right? Like a situation where, we expected it to continue up. Let me try and draw this out so I don't forget what I'm looking for. So, since we're in a bullish situation, let's look at a bullish example. So if we come down and then da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da, and then da-da-da-da, and then da-da-da. So let's see. This area here, which one is that? I believe that is the mitigation block, because all the folks that, let's say they thought it was going short, and then we came up here, then we finally broke through, and then they're trying to mitigate their losses right around here, and then we go up that way. Then there's the breaker block. It's something right around here. Messing about. Okay, so wait. So a normal shift in market structure, then usually the last down close candle becomes your order block. In this case, the breaker block would be if we had something like that and you're expecting it to continue going back up, and instead it broke lower, and then it did something like that and kept going down. So, whoopsie, what's going on? Why is it doing that? Am I locked in somewhere? Okay, so why can't I move this over? Okay, let's just move the whole thing this way. I'm just solidifying this in my head, guys, so. Okay, so the normal expectation is that we would want to enter into a long from this area, but of course price busted right through it. So let's label those guys. It's breaker block. It's red. Okay, so that's a breaker block. This would be almost feels like it's a mitigation block for all the folks that were going. And stop me if I'm wrong on these, okay? Let's make that yellow. Brighter shade of yellow. And then this would just be a regular order block. And then anything with like a, okay. Perfect. So that's the bearish version of that. All right, so basically looking for something like that. I just wanted to get my mind right. Ooh, so maybe right along here, right? So here, and usually it's more important when it's coming in from an area where price, found some support, right? So we see price found some support here, made this nice long wick, which is technically some sort of rejection block, and then it ran away. We don't see price digging into it, but they did eat the sell side liquidity here, and then it came back down. They ate it on this run, then it came back down again to take out the rest, and then we're back up. Now, So no candles closed inside of this wick once it formed, and then it just kind of ran away and then dug into this um, bullish order block that formed. Price violated it here. We made a nice break, and then honestly, I guess I would have had two options, right? I would have wanted to see price break above here and then trade back down into this order block, which beautiful entry right here. Wow, look at that. Boom. So regular order block right here. If we're coming down and we were still expecting um price to come back this way and then keep going, then this candle right here would be a breaker block. So another point of entry as well, right there. So we have, I'm just trying to find these things. So let's do a breaker block right there. And then we had a liquidity run here. So let's draw that out. I'm just going to do this on the daily, then we'll go down to lower time frames. So we had a sell side liquidity run here. They took it, and then they came back down. Where did they come into? Try to always remember to look to the left because sometimes that gets me, right? I look to the left and I get totally messed up. So I look to the left. What's here? So price shifted structure here, came back down, and we made relatively equal lows here. Came and ate it like it's going out of style. But this red candle where they flew away from, I mean, this whole thing would be considered like a bullish order block, but it is technically a price busted right through it. So it's another breaker block, right? Still in the same space. Nice. And a mitigation for all the folks that went short around here and then price ran away. Let's see. Look at that. So like right around here where it came, we busted above it. Price rolled back in. So then, ooh, would this be more mitigation block right there? Yeah. Hey, look at all that. All that all that continuity to get into it, to confirm that trade. Look at that, beautiful. So once price busted above here, and I'm doing all this on the daily just to see if I can see what I'm doing. Let's grab that. It broke it, and then it came back in, and now we have a fresh set of bullish order blocks because we've eaten the liquidity down here and we've broken out. We've made a change for the shift, so we think we're coming back up. And I'd be aiming for this imbalance up here, this fair value gap, which they tapped into beautifully. And you could have even been aiming for the top of this wick right here, which they busted through nicely right there. So, all right. So what have we found? We found a breaker block from here, totally ignored. Then we found a mitigation block right here, beautiful. And then once it broke and came back down, either of these two would have been a good place for an entry. So if you picked this one right here, look how spot on that is. Let's zoom in on that puppy. That's nice. I'm just keeping it mad simple, right? Because this is the last leg down candle before it flew away again, right? So then this right there or the wick, either of those would have been a good place for an entry. This one would be perfect because, you know, the drawdown on that would have been really small. Look, it tapped it beautifully. Stop loss below that candle. And then aim for the imbalance, you know? You could aim for the tap of it. Now, this is the micro. If you're doing just regular E-minis, there's a lot of ticks. I don't know what the lot size should be for this thing, but That's a lot of little ticks. And let's connect to my broker. Per my broker, that's $1.25 per tick. So this is a 1 to 6 at close profit and loss 273.5. Ooh, seriously? Let me grab a calculator. That can be right. Can it? Guys, I don't know how much. $1.25 per tick times 1,094 ticks. Huh. That's actually 1367.50. I don't know if this long position tool is working right. What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't know. We'd have to figure out how to calculate it. This is a one risk to reward ratio of 1 to 6. Quantity. I mean, if I set the lot size to 1, does that change anything? No, it's still that many ticks. I don't know. And then the stop loss, which we could have moved to break even. Once this took off there, we could have moved it to break even or just below this thing. Wouldn't have been too bad. Times 1.25. Whoops. 177 times 1.25. Whoops. Sorry. $221.25. I mean, in a situation like this where it's moving, it wouldn't be such a bad play. Ooh, rejection block right here. Beautiful. Let's look at that one. So I'm just learning about the rejection block today, so bear with me as I fumble through. So basically from the wick down to so we're just working with the wick on these. So we have this giant rejection block. Let me get it right. Okay. So that whole section is this rejection block. Do I have a thing for this? Did I? Yes. Okay. So we have this rejection block. The next candle, A, can dig into the actual block, but the body is what's important. We haven't violated the body. Beautiful. So could on lower time frames, I'm just gonna hit the replay button real quick. Actually, I'm gonna go so far as to just get up to this guy. So what do we have? We look to the left. Oof, now we've made, beautiful. So they've eaten some buy-side liquidity right here, right? And we've seen, let's go down to like, say, the 50 minute. Let's see what this looks like. All right, so they ate all of that big run, Tuesday, December 13th, all right? And then what do we have? What is our potential for an entry? Because we're looking for a break, right? They came back down, we broke it here, we're looking for an entry to come back down. This area where they paused at before they actually like continued breaking down, this green candle is the order block right there. Look how perfectly they snatched into that guy. Man, it really, do I have a thing for this or just plain order block? Let's just do that. Okay. Yeah, let's give it a different color. I've decided I don't like orders. Okay. So they came, they ate. Did they eat that sell side? They did. And they tapped this imbalance at the tiny base, barely. Oh, if they actually tapped it, right? Then we could come down into like, say, a 5 minute and see if we get like an entry. Because it traded back up into this area. I mean, honestly, now it's traded back up. You could look for a nice potential entry. We got a nice break right here. There's also this imbalance that you could be looking to trade from as well. Let's see. And if you're bearish, what are you even aiming for, right? Let me go out to the higher time frame on this guy. right? So here's sell side right down here, imbalance, they've already eaten it. So let's say from an aiming perspective, let me just mark out sell side liquidity right there so we're aware of it. Let's see if we have, yeah, so we'd be aiming for something like that. Let's go to the 5-minute. Okay. And in terms of order blocks, this is one big order block. It's a lot. The imbalance is probably the better bet for an entry here. So if you're waiting for like a 50% into the imbalance, actually this candle, look at that. Let's see, where's equilibrium on this candle? It's about 0.5 area. Okay, so they busted above 0.5. So once they hit that and they hit 0.6 in the general OTE space, you could probably take a short from there. I don't know, can I go to the 1 minute? Let's try for like 3 minutes. Okay. Does it give you an opportunity? So it came into the imbalance, ate it, created a tiny fair value gap. So if you're bearish on this one, then you could, or I should say, at the close of that candle, try for an entry there, put my stop up there, and then aim. Here's external liquidity we can aim for just below there. Could also look to the left and the base of that liquidity right there. And you could also play it by ear because mainly you want to see if it's going to go all the way down there. And maybe you could just be like, I want a 1 to 5 and see how far into that we can get. But this is not a bad place to aim for. Just there, how many ticks is that? 227? It's not bad. And then you set your stop loss like above that, right above that candle, you know? So, do we get that entry? Let's see. I'm trying to be really precise. Let's see. Because, or my, did I get 2 minutes? Okay, can I get 1 minute? Nope. Okay, 2 minutes. As close as we can get. All right. So let's see. We stopped here, imbalance, my bad. So the base of that, so you could do two styles of entry. This candle, you wouldn't have gotten it. This one you would have. The imbalance is in here. So I like to tap for the middle of the imbalance and see how it goes. We would have gotten that one. And this is a 1 to 3. We're aiming for down here. Let's see. Would we get what we're looking for? Let's see. We get stopped out. I mean, honestly, it's okay if we get stopped. Let's just do 15 minutes so we see what's happening here. Because we're really aiming for the 1 hour area down here. So let's let that reflect it. Let's go for about there. Want the bigger swings, you know? Do we get stopped out? Do we get what we want? Do we understand why price is moving the way it is? Let's go back into the 5 minutes so we can like watch it. Okay, so once we got in here, we don't want price to come back in to this candle. I'm sure there's like some version of a candle up here that I can't see because replay. But so far we've made a shift here on the 5 minute. At most, there's another shift here. At most, I expect to see them come back up here to retest. I don't really want them to touch that. Any luck? Don't get that. So, okay, we went back for the imbalance. Let's keep tracking that. All right, they've tapped into it. Okay. So I want them to stay with this imbalance. That keeps me very bearish. Once they start drifting too far up, then I'm not feeling it, right? Now, in terms of my stop loss, right? How far into this? We haven't even gotten 50% yet. So stop loss stays where it is for the moment. Actually, we might even put it at break even, like right there. Trying to figure out the best method for that. And then now we are, all right, we're coming down. So we're coming to eat this buy side liquidity. Now, the question is, what is in this general, sorry, sell side liquidity? What else is in this general vicinity, right? There's that imbalance, there's an imbalance down here. Let's take a look. There's smaller bullish order block, that make price pause. So far we are more than 50% up. So I think we're still in a good spot, but based off of what we've got, we move our stop up to here. We made some structure and fallen down from it. Now, if I was being super conservative, we could have taken it here and had a, 1 to 493. Now, I was saying, making a even 1 to 5. Let's make that like the goal, right? Boom. So then we would have gotten our thing right there, and that would have been, 225 ticks times, and this is the micro. So $281.25. Not bad for a micro, a 1 to 5. But I bet you anything, we're going to continue on down. Let's see. And I was waiting for it to do some stuff because eating it at this point, I need it to, if anything, it's probably going to come back, eat this. There's an order block here, continue down, but no guarantee. We need to see how structure is created. And there she goes. Yeah. So my original thought, but honestly, once money's off the table, you can find a different entry, right? So in terms of additional entries, look at this guy. We have 3 order blocks right here. So we could look at this fair value gap and then consider an entry from this order block right here. So the tip of that guy. So let's see. How would that treat us? And then I don't want price to go above it. So let's do that. And can we get a 1 to 5 again? Let's see. So we would have gotten an entry right there. Okay, we're shifting upwards. Not looking good for this one. Not moving our stop loss. Still in it. Oof, so close. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get stopped out on this one. Oh my goodness, that's some luck right there. Wow, okay, so we got a proper shift here, and I should have waited for this entry for that shift to occur. Because once the shift occurs, then my entry could have been right there. Isn't that nice? Something I need to work on, right? Because I'm working with the order block. Then my stop loss would be right above this candle. And again, I'm going to try for 1 to 5. Because let's see how that would look like. But this one is a lot more drama. All right. So, look at that meanness. Would have gotten the 1 to 5. Nice. So this entry would have gotten the 1 to 5. How many? That's 90 ticks. 95 ticks. Okay. I mean, smaller plays, but yeah. I mean, can it be that simple though? I mean, as long as you understand the way things are flowing, I suppose. And in this case, we're just working with just regular order blocks, right? All right, so there's that. Let's continue on our search for how these rejection blocks work. Because this one worked like gangbusters. That was nice. That was nice. All right. So let's exit this. Let's clear everything out and let's pick a different pair. Let's do the NASDAQ mini. Let's go to the daily. And let's see what we're looking at. And let me clear everything off of there. Kitty is hanging out next to me, being super adorable. Okay, so since we were doing that analysis on the daily, let's see if we can't see something similar. Okay, so price was in an obvious downtrend, making nice breaks. Then we have these relative equal highs here, and then it couldn't clear this. Is that a rejection block I see? Let's see. I gotta really understand the rules of this thing. But if this is a rejection block, because we're expecting it not to go past it, and then the body of the candle, these guys violated the body of the candle, but it went like not even 50% into the wick, right? So is this a rejection block? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I mean, in all honesty, what did it do? It ate all this liquidity right here. It ate it, chopped it up, num num num. And then what did it do? It came back into this fair value gap and then ate this liquidity here for all the folks who, I don't know, were planning to go long. Maybe the reversal folks, whatever. But what's fun is that this rejection block happened, price dug into it, and then we couldn't get any further into this thing. So that basically leaves us with an opportunity when price trades back into it for a long entry to deal with these relatively equal highs right here. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Look how price ran away from there. Let's hit the replay button just for funsies and see what this looked like on like the 15 minutes. Okay, wow, okay. All right. So probably could have gotten an entry from over here. Let's see what that even looks like. Wow, so we ate all of this stuff under here. Num, 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 like the Cookie Monster. Num, 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 num. And then we blew away, made a market shift, and came back into the fair value gaps. Both of them actually. Never quite made it back into this order block. Just barely missed it. Do you see that? Wow. Let me draw it over. Just barely missed it. And I think it's in these situations where the order block isn't as important. Actually, this is a demand one. It's not as important. The fair value gap is what's important. So like once it came down in here, right? I'm gonna do our FUG, and then we don't care about this because it didn't trade into it. Then would we be waiting for it to come back into this general vicinity for an order block? Because I don't know. If we zoom in on it, zoom in. So we technically broke the structure here. We consolidated, then broke upwards. Then, and this is the part that gets me sometimes, like, I like to see like a nice strong break. You know what I mean? But there's like a lot of consolidation right here. So, technically, like, I'm gonna call this red candle like the order block from this thing, right? So I'm gonna draw it out to the right. Do we see price find its way back into it after all this meandering about. It's quite some time. Sometimes I gotta wait. So that's a no good, buddy. Okay, so price doesn't come back into that. It does. Let's see. What do you touch? Hmm. What is that? I'm just curious. Because here's an order block. Whoops. Is that what happens when I hit shift? I was hoping I would just get it to go all the way across. Does it come into this breaker block? Ooh, it does. Hello, breaker block. Hello, imbalances or fair value gaps inside of breaker blocks. Let's get rid of all this other stuff, right? So it comes back into this breaker block. Beautiful. And then it rebalances price. It eats this fair value gap right here. Let's zoom in. It eats this fair value gap, and then I think it taps this one, right? And honestly, if you were hoping for, say, once it tapped it, we got a nice break right here. Price traded back into the fair value gap. That means you have a couple of options for entries, right? You can do the middle of this thing. You could do that guy right there. Or you could wait for, price traded down, turned around, and we have these bullish order blocks right here. And then you could just basically use like that guy right there for an entry. It's going to take me years to be able to spot this in real time, y'all. I mean, let's be honest. But look how spot on that is. And let's zoom in on it and then a 1 to 5, and then you can set your stop loss below that candle. Should below the candle with the imbalance or whatever. Something like that. Or if you're really bullish, you could put it in the middle of this thing and put it below this candle, and you would have been stopped out. But, if you're aiming for these relative equal highs up top here, then you would have gotten what you wanted. The other thing is, so that's one entry. Then we have this order block they plopped into. Oh my goodness, look how spot on. Right on the top of that puppy, boom. You'd have gotten that perfect entry. Da-da-da, and then set your stop below that order block. Boom, look at that. It's 1 to 11. Take a couple days to get there, but it would get there. Look how nice that is. Now, we don't have to be super greedy about it either, right? So, we're expecting them to tap these equal highs. I don't like sitting in trades for very long, so I would have aimed for this guy. Let's do my 1 to 5, right? Let's see. 1 to 5. I really wonder about the way these ticks are calculating. Or maybe it's right because this is the NASDAQ and the micro is like 50 cents. So that would make a lot more sense to me. And if we were to actually say trade it, right? Like to right above this thing right here, aiming for the top of just a few ticks above that. Then beautiful. And then another 1 to 5 is being conservative. Oh man, we wouldn't have to sit down in any kind of long trades or anything. Look how quickly. 921 ticks. I mean, on the micro, 921 times 50 cents. It's $46 now. Boom. On a micro. And I assume this is something similar, 935. That can't be right. 935 times 50 cents. 467, $467.50, really? Because it says per tick, right? And if the thing is right, then yeah. Hmm. So one handle is, I think, for this is $2. Divided by two. What? I don't like this. That calculator's not doing it for me, y'all. Not doing it for me at all. Let's need some juice. My phone needs some juice. Okay, so 921 times 0.5. Okay, that's 460.5. Really? That's crazy. 935 times 0.5. 460. You know, but then the drawdown one would have been 171 times 50 cents. $85? If I want to keep $1,000, I want to, 1%, $10. That's a big drawdown. Yeah. But once price started moving away, we could have moved our stop loss in and it would have been nice. And that would have taken 45 or so. But anyway, so in terms of, so price dropped, da da da. This here would be a breaker block. As price went up, it didn't go down. And that would have given us another potential area for entry. All right, on this candle, that gave us an opportunity to go long again in this general vicinity. Interesting. And look at this liquidity run. They came and they ate it, and they ran away and kept going. Just fueled up, tapped this order block. Just make sure I set it as an order block. Demand. They tapped this order block and then ran away. I'm curious to see what it looked like on a lower time frame. Let's see if can I get 5 minutes on this? Oh, nice. Can I get 3 minutes? Nope. Can I get 4 minutes? Okay, 5 minutes it is. Okay. So we can only go as low as 5 minutes. Let's get that out of the way. You can move. Okay. So if we've got this break here, you'd be thinking it's going in the other direction. I'm looking, if you're continuing to think it's going short, right? But we've hit an order block right here. So we got to see what it does. So then we need to see a break in this direction to take a long from here, right? So price came back into that order block. Okay, that's technically this is a break. Once price came back in and technically using this order block, the top of that guy, and then 1 to 5, like that. That would have been a good entry, and then put our stuff below this order, this candle right here. Okay. And let's say, and just for funsies, so we can see what it looks like price-wise, let's do a buy here, because we're saying we see a break, and we trust our analysis right there. Prices come back into this fair value gap. Our stop loss is down here. Let's see how this plays out. I mean, this is the micro though. Like it almost feels like it should be like a couple of dollars, not like hundreds of dollars. You see. Honestly, we are halfway to our thing, so my stop loss game would be like right here to protect my position. All right. And at this point, I don't expect them to go any lower than here again. It's okay if they dig into it, but I don't want to see them get any lower. So let's see if they're respecting it. Looks like they're respecting it. We've come into the breaker for potential second entry. Okay, so now I would have moved my stop loss to right below here. Okay, and we're getting close to our objective. Wow, really? Did we get it? No, we haven't gotten it yet. We're close. Coming back down to eat some stuff. I don't like seeing the profit balloon and meander. We come back down to the breaker block. Is that what's happening? Okay, let me drag this over to the right here. So close. Ooh. We're back to the breaker again. Man, this is painful. The sheer slowness of this cannot be understated, y'all. It's not bad when we're doing it like this, but did we get it finally? Come on. We are like right under it. 412, 425. Oof. Oof. All right, let's drag this across even more. Come on, baby. Give me some sugar. Ah, finally, right there. And then flatten. And then we would sell right there automatically. How long would that have taken from this entry right here to right there? 22 hours of awfulness. I mean, this is a 1 to 7.98 because I was looking for something above this guy. But if I'd done the 1 to 5, it would have been out much sooner. I could have just aimed for this thing and been done. Isn't that crazy? But look how beautifully they respected that order block on the way up and how they respected the breaker block once they came back down into it. Even honestly, like, what am I even thinking about? I'm thinking about like the rejection wicks. Here's one right here. They dug into it, but the bodies of the candles. I think like where matters as well, like where these things form. Everything, where things form always matter anyway. All right, so let's go take a look at Ethereum. It's digging into this rejection block as well, or at least this wick. I don't know if it's a rejection block. It's at the 0.5 or consequent encroachment of that block. So let's see, what is it looking like on the 15? So it's thinking about things. It is consolidating. So much consolidation. I'm finding that crypto is its own beast. Look at all these weird wicks. It can be so mean. But I think what ICT's teaching also works really well here as well. Because we had, these relatively equal highs that came up, they ate it. Relative equal lows, they came down, ate that too. Equal lows, ate it, ran away. In terms of like bullishness, well, it's eaten all of the imbalances or fair value gaps. So if we bust, we've created a large amount of liquidity void in here. So I'm expecting it to eventually turn around and give me opportunities. It might, you know, if I'm being honest, this green candle before the drop, that order block would be where I'm looking for something to happen when it gets down into that general vicinity, right? But we shall see. All right, guys, we're about 50 minutes in. Y'all don't need to see me puttering around the rest of the way, but thank you for hanging out with me while I do putter. It's always fun. It is 3:30 on a Monday. That is a holiday, and I am going to go watch some anime. Actually, no, I'm gonna go check to see what's the next vid on ICT and learn that, and then I'm gonna be practicing like a ton. So I'm just going into the YouTubes, and let's go into Inner Circle Trader. Let me just show you what I'm doing right now, right? So I'm on to the month 4, core mentorship stuff. So I just got order blocks, mitigation blocks, and breaker blocks and rejection blocks done this morning. I need to get through all of this other stuff, reclaimed this, ICT propulsion, vacuum block, liquidity voids. I'm looking forward to that one, liquidity pools, etc. So I'm excited for this particular section. Lots of good stuff in here. What's next on after 4? Let's see what 5's got going on. Quarterly shifts in IPDA, data range, open floats. Okay. This looks very detailed. I'm very excited to be able to get through a lot of this stuff. I'm constantly fascinated. Ideal swing conditions for any markets, elements of successful swing trading. All right, I've got a lot to get through, not to mention the 2023 stuff that it's just started. So it's all very fascinating. I sat through the non-farm payroll thing last Thursday. That was pretty boss. Anyway, I am going to take a break. Happy Monday if you're off. Enjoy it. I'm gonna go find something to probably do one or two more vids on the different order blocks, and then probably find a milkshake or smoothie or something. Anyway, all that's not super important. Happy Monday. I'm gonna go give Kitty some time. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are, and hit the like or subscribe button. Let me know how things are going with you. I've taken a pause on actual trading so I can like learn this stuff and be better, So this isn't like a back testing. This is just me trying to figure out like order blocks and how we could have entered and blah blah. Most of my back testing stuff will become live testing stuff, meaning I'm going to be watching the markets live and videotaping myself trying to figure out if I'm right or not. Today's a slow sort of day and I'm kind of nappy. I feel like I should be nappy. But anyway, I'm just going to end it here. Shakira, out.